Another rain interruption.
Another rain interruption for 3 consecutive. I mean, it happened today. Okay, 3 times there was a threat of rain. There was a drizzle. They got the covers on, but at the halfway point they turned back.
But I know, Siddharth, you jinxed it.
I didn't jinx it. You jinxed it.
Everyone was
I
here.
got it. Come on.
What did you say?
You are saying that the game will get washed off.
No, I didn't say that. I said there's 100% going to be rain and a good, for a long while.
I remember in the previous time that we were live, during the sign off, you said that let's hope we meet at the mid inning stage and not due to a rain interruption. So it was you who jinxed it.
No.
When Nikhil joined us, it was bright and shiny. We all saw that.
It's not so good.
The Indian cricket team is responsible for this entire muddle, for this mess that is there.
Not the team.
No, the BCCI.
Not even the BCCI.
Okay, the entity on top.
Yeah, so let's not even go there. We can't really control it.
Yeah, that is the thing. I will go into a separate rant altogether if I have to ensure that whatever is the thing, it is entirely political and egoistic that you do not want to play in a tournament where there is no rain threat. You want to host it in a country that always has rain in September.
This time of the year.
From October to December. Essentially, that is the way how you want this. Okay, fine. India will still qualify if it is a washout. And why wasn't the UAE chosen? It's too hot. Well, I think in most of the teams, I think play with AC. This thing, right? They play with ACs. They play in an Arctic situation. They can't take the heat, isn't it?
No, but it's a desert.
No, but you still could play the IPL in a very worse situation in 2020.
What month was that?
That was August, September.
Same.
So August, September is even worse. Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Sharjah were even worse at that time.
Yeah, you had it in September, I remember. In the second leg of it, yeah.
Exactly. And even
not just second leg, in 2020, the delayed IPL happened then only.
Yeah. So that is why, look, the Indian team, I'm sorry, Nepal maybe 178 for 6. But if you're an Indian fan, forget the weather, forget all these kind of things. Be worried. Be really, really worried.
In fact, it harkens back to an old point that we would make about the team without Bumrah. That the bowling looks a lot less penetrative.
Yeah.
Yep. Jadeja took 3 wickets. Kuldeep has been played out. Let's remember, 8 overs done for 21, but this Nepal team...
There was just that one chance that he created, I think in his first over, the 5th or 6th ball, where...
turned away.
Yes, it was given out by the on-field umpire, and that was the closest chance I think that Kuldeep had. But I think a very cautious approach there being adopted by Nepal. I think the idea was clear. Like we saw, let's say with Rashid as well in yesterday's game. And so often do we see teams do that with Rashid. I think Kuldeep, Nepal's done well in fact, and let's, give credit where it's due because they did play Kuldeep very sensibly, I must say.
Yep.
But let's not shy away from saying that there was a severe lack of penetration right at the time.
Actually, I don't entirely blame the bowlers because they did make chances, but you dropped 3 chances.
And those chances were in the first 3 overs.
First 26 balls, 3 chances dropped.
Exactly.
If you take those chances, and that's normally how it works. We talk about momentum, and that's true for the longer formats. So in ODIs, in tests, you'll often see that if you can get wickets in a glut. If you'd taken those 2 of those 3 chances, because the one which Shreyas Iyer dropped in slip was a dolly. The Kohli drop, absolute dolly. Kishan is the only one who I'll give maybe a slight benefit of the doubt, but
it was a 50-50,
50-50, but again, let's say if those first 2 chances been taken, I can guarantee you he'd have taken that 50-50.
True.
Because at that point, you're like, okay, 2 wickets, I'll go for the 3rd. You didn't take wickets. You didn't get wickets.
Speaking more on Ishan, and since Siddharth's already said poor technique, I was worried if that's the way we're going to see him keep, and maybe you'll cut him some slack, though you shouldn't be because it's Nepal. But you still expect the match to be played with the kind of skill set that you expect these 11 gentlemen to be playing with
against Australia,
against England.
Pakistan.
I think some of the covers are coming off.
It does appear to be that way, is it?
I mean, at this point, Sri Lanka cannot be trusted with rain, especially Pallekele.
No, anywhere in Sri Lanka. anywhere.
No,
Now,
but the match
the
is in
retreating
Pallekele, no?
monsoon,
That's
huh?
it.
It is the retreating monsoon. No, even
monsoon.
Colombo, it's pouring.
Yeah.
In Colombo, it's
Galle is
absolutely
pouring.
pouring.
Hambantota is pouring. No, the problem is, see, there is only one place where there is no rain in Sri Lanka, but the venue is not ready. It's Dambula.
Dambula.
Dambula hardly gets rain.
There's also one other place where there's no rain.
Where?
Pakistan.
Pakistan. But let's not get there, because India are so much in a delusion that, okay, just for the sake of people are saying, okay, don't mix politics with sport. I'm sorry, you are responsible for creating what threatens to be a farcical tournament of epic proportions.
It's reached there already, because you've gone the hybrid model and this and that.
Yeah.
That in itself was borderline farcical, because you forced a host nation to give up those rights for no
Hosting
reason
rights,
other than political tensions.
Well,
And
now you have about 70% of the tournament taking place in Sri Lanka, so they are more hosts of this edition of the tournament than Pakistan.
Pakistan,
Just
exactly.
4 matches as compared to 9 matches that you're seeing happening in Sri Lanka now. But having said that, I think you're in today's day and age, and the way diplomacy works these days, I think it is very difficult to separate sport from politics.
impossible, but that's still, I think there could have been some sort of
I think this is the middle
I
ground
think
that they were looking at.
I think sporting relevance goes away if you do not mix politics. Because
Exactly.
if you mix politics, South Africa's apartheid would never have collapsed.
Yeah.
It played a small part though. It did play
but
a
it did play a significant
play a
part.
significant part.
Small but significant.
Look at the Olympics. Olympics is the biggest political sporting event in the world. 2008 Beijing, 1956 Melbourne, 1972 Munich, 1980 Moscow, 1984 Los Angeles, 1988 at the height of a dictatorship. We're talking about 78 Argentina dictatorship, 88 South Korea was a dictatorship, if you have to tell about it. So,
I mean, lest we forget, the Olympics have been hosted in Nazi Germany too. So
Yeah.
1936. I mean, the Football World Cup 34, Benito Mussolini's Italy.
exactly, and there were lots of instances of matches being influenced by the dictator himself.
But yeah.
I think he was called DULCE. What is that?
I don't know what it was called, doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that is the situation.
And honestly, the whole idea of don't mix politics and sports. If you didn't mix politics and sports, then India-Pakistan wouldn't be a rivalry.
I was
It's
coming to that.
entirely a political rivalry.
Yeah, it stems out of firstly the political tension and the history that the two nations have, let's say. So it comes out of that, the rivalry, so to say.
Yeah.
Or let's say even, we were talking about it the other day, how West Indies try to, they always go hard against England. They've got a proud record at home against England. Not
That
much.
also comes down to politics.
Exactly, that also has political connotations to it.
Look, you should have some relevant base upon which you base a rivalry upon. I mean, Australia and England, there's not much of political tensions between
Yeah, but it's
them.
sporting.
It's just good
Sporting.
cricket.
It's good cricket. For India and Pakistan, I refuse to call it a rivalry. I'm
No.
sorry.
That's
It's a
wrong.
jingoistic
No,
rivalry.
that's wrong. Rivalries exist both in terms of due to the sport as well as say due to political tensions. Because again, England-Germany in sporting arenas such as football
Yeah.
doesn't come down to anything on the field. It comes down to this only. It comes down to political tensions. It comes down to
Spain, Argentina.
Spain.
No, not Argentina to an extent.
England, Argentina.
England,
Again,
Argentina
the Falklands
too.
War
Falkland
comes
Wars
down
of
to
78.
it. So there is history there as well. It comes for that matter. All of these sort of rivalries, it's political in nature. So in that
But
regard,
then, look, when you look at the top rivalries, we don't include England or Argentina because skill-wise and other things, they are much better. It's only a political this thing. India, Pakistan also. I for one don't enjoy an India-Pakistan rivalry because of all the jingoism that comes along with it.
but that's just you. That's just
Exactly.
you. You have to remember that the majority
They
public
enjoy it.
does actually enjoy that rivalry only for that reason. I'll give an example. That day when we were in office, the day of the first India-Pakistan match, I saw people who didn't care about cricket glued to the television screens. Why? Because it was a match against Pakistan. At that point, the quality of the cricket doesn't
And
matter.
at this time, given the political history and let's say where the two nations are, let's say economically as well, at one point, rather in every sphere, the two nations do try and go, pip the other, let's say. And every opportunity that presents itself, fans are always glued to it because again, they know that, of course, when it comes to certain aspects, India are head and shoulders over the rest. But credit to Pakistan, they've tried to make the contest even, and they have in fact, gotten that monkey off their backs. They're no longer, let's say, the inferior team going into an India-Pakistan clash. In World Cups also, they've done enough. They've caused India embarrassment at a World Cup just about 2 years back.
Most covers, I think they're draining the excess water, and I think they're coming off. But they're spread around as if it's like in a quadrant or something.
It looks like a chessboard made on
green,
the
blue,
cricket
green, blue, instead of black, white, black, white.
Exactly.
Change
Yep.
the sport entirely.
Yeah, so but is it, are they getting in one more layer of covers?
No, I think that's, let's see.
Something's happening.
Something is up, but
I
truth be
think
told,
they are extending some more covers, I guess. Because I think it is still, I think the rain has stopped, but I think it's a wet outfield.
Why would they take it off then?
They're
I think
covering
they're
it again.
draining the excess water.
and they're putting it on the covers that are already there. That's I
yeah.
think the thing that's happening.
Maybe they're covering it again then.
Oh, that means
Yeah.
the rain has again come back.
Yeah.
Or they
so
think
what
it'll
they
come
did
back.
was maybe there was puddles of water. They were draining that out and getting that second layer back on it.
Back. Yes. So in that way, see, rivalries and all that, let us keep it for some other. That's a big debate, because I honestly, I mean, give me, if you want Ashes and India Pakistan, I will wholeheartedly, with no inhibitions and all, watch the Ashes and call that real cricket. India Pakistan, I'm sorry, I refuse to, because of the fan bases and the toxicity that
But
comes
that's
with it.
fine. And then so that you can't take it away from the fan. I think both sets of fans, let's say on either side of the border, have had reasons to be so passionate about it.
I am basing on the fan this thing, I'm not basing it at all, because England and Australian fans are also equally bad. Equally bad. I mean,
Yeah, let's not forget what happened at Lord's
Yeah, I mean,
just 2 months back.
if I have to look at which are the lowest common denominators as far as appreciation of fans are concerned, England right up there, the lowest of the low, as far as behavior is concerned, lowest of the low, England fans. Then comes India and Pakistan, a very close second. I mean, the toxicity that all these fan bases come up is next level. Fourth, I would say Australia. Very much. And fifth, you can say to a certain extent, even South Africa. I mean, all the fan reactions that happened in that 2018 series. I mean, with many people mocking David Warner's wife, Candice Warner. That really wasn't very poor taste. And that's why I'll place these as the 5 worst in the business at this time. England, I'm including everything. Even the Old Firm, even all the other rivalries that's there.
Old Firm is not English, don't
I
go
mean,
there.
Scotland, but still, it's United Kingdom.
Not even, never mind. Let's
It's
not go
United
there.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
So more covers are coming on in Pallekele at this point in time. And remember, the playing conditions are 1 hour 10 minutes.
After which you start to lose overs.
You start to lose overs after that. Every 4 minutes, one.
So we've
over.
lost out on how much? I think about 15 minutes already.
No, I think.
No, just
25
open
minutes,
the
I guess.
scorecard. Open the scorecard. We'll know.
I think it's about 25
No, we'll
minutes
know.
since
Just
it happened.
open the scorecard. Go to the other section. Yeah. Go down. We'll know soon enough.
So
So it stopped.
7, 4, 5.
We've already lost nearly half an hour.
half an hour.
Yeah.
Another
We've lost
40
25 minutes.
25 minutes you've lost out on. You've got another buffer of about 60 minutes.
No.
No, you got
No,
another 40
minutes.
40
1 hour 10 minutes you said.
Yeah, 1 hour 10 minutes.
So that's 80 minutes. So that means you have 55 minutes basically.
Yeah. Another one.
Another hour then. Another hour that you have before you look at overs being lost. Like
Somebody had stated that DLS method could very well favor Nepal. Somebody said it amongst us.
I had said it, but
Yes.
it's not possible with the way the toss went. That would have been possible if Nepal were batting second. Because if if they needed say 250, 280, 300, whatever, if they had a flyer of a start in the first 3-4 overs and then rain hits, now I doubt. Now no. Unless I mean it's entirely possible India somehow contrived to lose 2 quick wickets and you're behind because it's entirely
it
possible.
could happen.
I'm not saying anything.
So many people are saying by 6:30 it should end.
I'm not making any predictions when it comes to. I think Sri Lanka now is right up there as far as England is concerned when it comes to unpredictability of rain.
Yeah.
It's
It
just not good at all.
And folks, for all of you wondering, 10th of September is if you had to shift from Colombo to Pallekele. How's the weather in Pallekele? Same like this on 10th.
Yeah.
is this, let's say, tad better than what you are seeing in Colombo and what is being projected in Colombo at the moment, which is why the decision is made to keep the Super 4 games here. So the tournament, as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, doesn't move from Pallekele to Colombo as was earlier scheduled. Now the action remains in Pallekele.
Yeah.
So yeah, but not the last time you're seeing a rain interruption given the forecast. It does continue to be this
You're
way.
gonna see it for the next 13 days. 13 days you're going to see it. Every day there is a probability of over 50% when it comes to rain.
Yeah, I was actually going through the weather forecast yesterday for wherever in Sri Lanka, whether it be Pallekele or whether it be Colombo, assuming it's bad.
It's really, really bad, and that's
Not
why
good.
I'm really concerned and really surprised that we are probably making this tournament very, very farcical because of all the rain that's around. And Zaka Ashraf and I'm sorry, Najam Sethi's tweet. Many people will troll him for that because it's coming from Pakistan, but actually he hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I remember I'd done a video on that a couple of days back, and he said very clearly that look, what excuses were you making for Sri Lanka? You could have played in UAE if you wanted it. I was okay with the hybrid model, but why not UAE?
But UAE also was being looked at. I remember when
but other
hybrid
boards
model-
complained it was too hot.
Exactly. I remember there was just two boards. Yes, of course. By the way, the first plan
Bangladesh and
was
Sri Lanka reported.
No, UAE was also in the mix, but then Sri Lanka showed far greater interest than the others, I think. And India too, I think, were leaning a little towards India more. I think that's what the BCCI was also, sort of looking at much more.
Sri Lanka complaining about the heat. Now I've heard everything in life. Sri Lanka, of all
I think
teams, and both Sri Lanka.
Maybe boards were concerned that the players would fall sick, World Cup around the corner,
Poor
something
them.
like that.
No, I mean, see, either when that was proposed at that time, see, the travel logistics could have been a bit of a complication.
Yeah, I think travel logistics was a better
Yeah,
reason
that-
than. No,
yeah.
but then I think, then what would have happened? I think if you really had to play it in UAE, you could have potentially convinced Pakistan to host the entire thing in UAE.
Which
But
Sri Lanka did in
that
2022.
would be much more complicated.
No, it wouldn't. It would be much easier. There's
We
enough
were so
precedent.
close to the
No,
Asia Cup anyway.
No, that's okay. It's still easy to organize. I mean, you've seen it happen. 2021 T20 World Cup was held entirely in UAE but hosted by the BCCI. So the money all came to BCCI. Same thing with last year's Asia Cup was hosted in Sri Lanka, but was hosted in UAE, but it was actually supposed to be held in Sri Lanka. It was hosted by the SLC.
Yeah.
So you could have done something similar this time around as well. I don't know. I mean, now I think if there's one thing that COVID has proved is that compromises can be reached.
It can
But
be.
you just didn't reach any good compromise here.
Yep.
You reached one. It wasn't a good one.
And it
Or
looks.
it could have been like, host one. There weren't two different groups, were there?
They are.
There are, of course, two
There
different
are.
groups.
Group A and Group B.
Yeah, so they could have had Group A play in Pakistan, the other group in other
But that is also happening.
That is happening.
Pakistan, Nepal happened in Multan.
Yeah,
and
Pakistan.
then have a final somewhere neutral.
The
that's
second
all.
game also happened in.
That was Lahore though, not Multan.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's
again,
the
saying you
opposite
did.
way.
Game happened in Pallekele.
No.
No, he's saying about two group games happened in Pakistan.
Exactly.
I think the covers are coming off most
Well,
of them.
I'm not holding my breath for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It's just very
Just
frustrating.
seconds later,
See,
they come
anyway,
back in
15
running.
minutes it will take for them, 15 to 20 minutes for them to get the ground ready. So
Which means actually, if you have another rain interruption,
You'll
then
start
you'll start losing overs because you've already lost half an hour.
it is the same thing
That
Pakistan.
happened with India Pakistan.
Yes, it's the same thing, and you'll start losing overs. And remember, the cutoff time is 10:27.
Yeah, we don't know that from last time.
That's the situation at this time. So you've already
10:27.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He just said
10:27.
that.
25, didn't you say?
No, he said 27.
So see, according to your point,
Just a little distracted with the burning
Mr.
question.
Fact, no. Why not in Gaul? It's pouring in Gaul at this point in time.
Because in Gaul too, it really pours.
Exactly. So the situation is, look, you had first game you had in Multan. Second game of the Asia Cup you had in Pallekele. Okay. Third game you had in Lahore. And this game now you are having both India's games are in Pallekele. So 5, you've had 2 in Lahore, 1 in Lahore and 1 in Multan. Tomorrow also I think it's in Lahore if I'm not mistaken. The third.
Yeah, I think it's in Lahore.
Sri Lanka, Afghanistan is in Lahore. So there is an equal distribution of games. Let's be
No,
very honest.
it's
about
4 and
3-3.
9. But
3-3 in the league.
given the full tournament, it's 4 and 9.
4-9. Yeah, that
4
had
and
to
9.
happen. So
In terms of league, they were very good. In terms of not so good.
league, it's 3-3. 1 Super 4 in Pakistan.
And then
the
the
later
other-
is in Pallekele. So that is.
Or Colombo or whatever. We don't know at this point.
Yep, that is the problem. And look, it is a big problem that the BCCI and the entities that control the BCCI have brought it upon themselves.
Yeah, at this point, this feels like a self-inflicted wound.
It is a self-inflicted wound. And remember, looking at the performance of this Indian cricket team, I am very sorry. Be worried and be on a prayer like never before.
Yeah, this. I mean, to be fair, if we're being honest here, maybe India should have been batting now.
No, I
No,
don't think
yes.
it
Why
would
not?
have.
Why not?
Then
Why
you'll
not?
never get your bowlers to see what
Doesn't
happens.
matter.
Why?
Really doesn't. You should have been getting them out in 24, 25 overs.
I think I agree with
If you're,
How?
I'll tell
You are all paying the price for taking Nepal lightly.
no, that's not taking lightly. On pure sporting merit, they should not have been batting for 38 overs and counting.
Like
Fact.
Rohit- like
So
Rohit
like how
said.
Pakistan did it.
Exactly, you
had these examples right there in front
had
of you.
to make easy work of Nepal, which you haven't.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That is why I'm actually adding on to your point only. That you should be worried.
Okay. If they batted and if it goes the similar way of India-Pakistan,
It wouldn't.
In the sense, India would have struggled.
the weather. I'm saying the weather-wise, you don't get any more play after 8 o'clock. Your bowlers are not bowled.
No, your bowlers have bowled. No, I would
I'm
be
saying
more.
if you wanted to bat.
No, no, you're misunderstanding
Okay.
me. I said they was the right decision to bowl first.
Okay.
They should have bowled out Nepal.
Oh, in that way.
I'm sorry, folks. It's all depends upon how your bowlers are, and they were
Performing.
very undercooked. Underwhelming also. And remember, Bumrah, would it have made a difference? Instead of 178 for 6, it would have been 178 for 8.
No, he would have made a difference. I'm sorry, your bowling looks very.
Yep. And we have Nikhil
Oh.
from Pallekele. And Nikhil, can you hear us?
I can, and I've got great news for you guys.
Please.
The great news is that covers are almost off. They have been removing the covers for the last 10-15 minutes, and they cover the entire ground, the 100% of the ground. Right now, it is a meticulous process. It takes time because they are very careful as to ensure not that the water that is on top of those covers doesn't get spilled onto the ground, because if you do that, then the whole purpose of putting covers is defeated. So they're very careful in when they're removing their covers. So right now, as I speak, almost about 70% of the covers have been removed. Just the main 30-yard square, that main area is left. The rest of the ground is completely clear. So the ground staff has done an outstanding job, as they've been doing here in Pallekele. And the good news is that it hasn't been raining for the last half an. I mean, I don't know how long back the break happened, but for a good 15-20 minutes at least, it's not been raining, which is why they've been able to remove majority of the covers that are there, which takes a long time for them to be removed. So I can see them hard at work removing all the covers to ensure that the game starts. What you see behind me, that side, is also some good signs. You can see, clear skies in between the clouds, which is also heartening to see. But while I say that, if I just turn and I show you that side, you see some dark grey clouds that is coming from, that's the weather that comes from Kandy, heading towards Pallekele. I just hope that they aren't, rain heavy clouds that bring rain with them. So fingers crossed for that. But for the moment, all covers have been removed. Now, in fact, just about 20% of the covers are left, just the pitch area. Rest everything has been removed. So fingers crossed that rain doesn't come back. If it does not, then I think it'll take another 10 minutes for these covers to be removed, then maybe another 10-15 minutes for the machine to kind of clears up the little bit of residue of the water that is left behind. So I think then maybe another, if rain doesn't come, maybe another 20-25 minutes we could have the players back on the field.
Hey, you're right actually, because now we're getting an update from the broadcasters that the umpires will be having an inspection at 6:30 p.m. Local and IST. So I think after that I think it's only a formality if let's say there's no more rain. But I mean, so far it's been frustrating.
If there is a inspection, I think within 5 to 7 minutes, I think it's ready then. Afterwards, the players can, because the ground staff do a quick job and they ensure that it's absolutely bone dry about it. But Nikhil, so far, whatever you have seen from the Indian performance, I started the show by saying, Indian fans, be really, really worried. Looking at the catching, looking at the fielding, very, very underwhelming. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll tell you where they've got things wrong. I think fast bowling, apart from the catches, I agree that the catches were crucial, and had it not been for those 3 drop catches, probably this would have been mid-innings right now as we speak, and this rain interruption would have timed itself perfectly to ensure that this is mid-inning, and by the time the covers were cleared, it would have been that good half-hour break, and no overs lost, and you would have had the Indian batters coming out now rather than the Nepal batters now coming out. So I think it would have been almost done one inning had they held on to their catches. That's one. But poor catching aside, poor ground fielding aside, we saw, we were all talking about Pakistan's poor ground fielding the other day. I don't think the Indian team covered itself in glory with the kind of ground fielding that they did today. That said, I think the Indian fast bowlers were also not on the mark today. And I'll tell you where they've really erred. They came with the attitude, Siraj and Hardik Pandya in particular, that they are going to decimate this batting lineup, right? We want to just bully them out and ensure that, they surrender to us. And that's the attitude that's gone against them. What you need to realize now, if you look at associate teams, it's not genuine pace that is troubling batters anymore. Genuine pace does not trouble batters, even from associate nations. I've been watching them practice here. Now they all have bowling machines that can crank it up to mid 140s, 50s. You can practice against that as much as you want. You have throwdown experts like the Nepal team was practicing yesterday. Most teams have. So pace, bounce, all of these things slowly and gradually, every team is finding ways to handle. That does not intimidate them. It's not like earlier where, good fast bowlers from more established countries would just come and intimidate them. That's stopped. Where are you going to trouble them? You will only trouble them when you get the ball to swing, to really seam around. That's when you're going to trouble associate countries, players with less sort of experience at that level. And you saw Shardul, when he got the ball, got that ball to swing, got that wicket as well. What was Siraj trying to do? Intimidate them. I'll bowl you a bouncer, and you're trying to target at their body. And what did a couple of Nepali batters do? Whack them for 6. Some of those shots were outstanding because they're enjoying the pace. Pace is not troubling them anymore. Would a Siraj, a Hardik, and to that extent Shami have bowled like this when you're playing Pakistan? No. Then you would have concentrated on your length. Get the length right. You would have concentrated on setting up the batsman. And if you had gone with that same kind of a mindset today, you would have had a better chance of dismissing Nepal. But you did not go with that mindset. You said that, we'll just roll them over with that genuine pace, that did not happen. Which is why the spinners trouble them. And this is what happens. Quality spin is tough to replicate in your training session. Quality spin you can only get better is if you have a lot of good spinners. I know Nepal has Sandeep Lamechane who's done well, but still, Kuldeep Yadav or Ravindra Jadeja, the kind of spinners that they are, that quality they don't get to face in the net. You can't replicate that. Which is why you will see this younger teams or the associate teams with lesser experience struggle against genuine spinners. That's exactly what happened. So had the Indian fast bowlers also relied on their craft of really, seaming the ball, swinging the ball, they would have returned with better dividends.
So, yep, that is the situation. I mean, they look really rusty, and also the bowlers in particular, they didn't bowl the proper lengths. Like, look at the wicket of Shardul, swing. That's how he got it. Siraj, swing, cross seam, that too.
In fact, with Shardul, his first wicket, I'll add that it was very clever, because what the Nepal bowlers were doing to negate the swing is that they were going down the wicket. They were taking 2-3 steps. What did Shardul do? He pulled in the length back. I remember you were telling me that it seemed that he's bowled it slightly short. The reason he did that was because when he was bowling it full, they were advancing and hitting him. So he pulled his length back, they were caught on the back foot, and that's it. That's all she
He reminded me of something that Shaheen did the other day. Remember, before that rain intervention, in fact, he was looking for that swing and bowling much fuller. What did he do post that break? He just pulled it a little back and was able to get the ball in. So, though Shardul, again, I think he did exactly the same. Just that there wasn't any rain intervention, it happened much later, and you expect now the same to happen and there'll be wickets for India. But having said that, you know, Nikhil, and this was, you know, a little shocking in fact to see, because the host broadcaster did put out some numbers, and since we're speaking of India's fielding, the ground fielding could be okay, but a subset of that also obviously is catching, which is under the scanner at the moment. Now, since the 2011 World Cup, as far as the host broadcaster is concerned,
2019.
2019 or 21?
2019.
19?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
since
yeah.
2019, then that makes India the second worst as far as catching efficiency is concerned, because they've got a catching percentage or an efficacy of just about 75%. England are on top with about an 82-83%, and Pakistan, I remember, were also close to 80%.
Yeah.
They were, in fact, as far as catching goes, the second best team since the 2019 edition of the World Cup.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I think the catching is something that really needs to be looked at. But those numbers that you tell me, they're not telling me much, because 75%, 82% is a marginal difference, and you have about so many teams fit in. So I mean, I don't know how to translate that into understanding how much it's making a difference. It's not as crystal clear as looking at a strike rate or an average. So this percentage is relative. Yes, it makes for nice reading when you make a table where you make someone go at 82%, someone at 74, but you really don't know what is the difference between 74 and 82. Right? It could be very different. Like an average of because we study average very regularly, when an average is 30 and a 40, we know what the difference is between 30 and a 40. We have an idea, right? Vis-a-vis a bowling speed. So an average of 30 or let's say an average of 35 or an average of 25, we know is a massive difference, let's say in T20 cricket. But a bowling speed of 10 clicks here and there, how much does it make a difference? We don't know. So everything is relative, right, to understanding. So this is a new matrix. I just don't understand how much of a difference there is. Yes, I understand that they're at the bottom of the pile, but I don't know how far back they are. Is it marginal? Is it just like a couple, one catch, no drop in per match? I don't know what that stat is telling me. But you're right, to be in, lower down that list, last or second last position, wherever they are, that's not great reading for a team that aspires to be the best in the world. So that's an issue. As I said today, you got out of jail because your spinners came and did the job, and you're not really playing the strongest team. So in all likelihood, it will not cost you a game. But against a better side, let's say it was at 266 that game was to happen. Pakistan is trying to chase that, and you're in with a game. It's a 50-50 game, and you drop 3 chances. Done. You've lost the game. 266, they'll chase down. You hold on to those 3 catches early, 266, you'll win. So that's the difference, and I think that is something that the Indian team probably needs to work on.
Yep, so that is the situation at this moment. The umpires are currently discussing with the ground staff, and I think within the next 7 to 8 minutes, I think we'll have a decision as to when it can start. Mostly it'll be around...
If it doesn't rain?
Again.
I think it may not rain now, maybe later on by about 8 or 9 maybe it could rain. Because Nikhil had said in the weather predictions that by 11...
It actually had said 11, it had said 11.
Yeah.
But again, it's all, it's not an exact science, right? Rain prediction. So it could be anywhere in and around that. But 11
Nikhil,
is
also
when
one
it's...
of the things I do remember, you interacting with a couple of Nepalese fans as well. They were very pumped, they were very excited going to the match. Anything, let's be honest, everyone had, only so much to expect, let's say, from Nepal. But they've done a good show as far as, they're showing with the bat is concerned. They've done a good job. Have you been able to gauge what's the mood like amongst the fans right now? Are they too pleasantly surprised? Are they overjoyed?
No, they're not surprised. They're overjoyed, yes. They are rocking it. They are having a party. I can barely see any Indian fans. And the Nepali fans are just rocking it, dancing. And what's adding to their festivities is the fact that the DJ is playing a lot of Nepali songs. So, in that game versus India, Pakistan, the selection of choice was 90-10%, 90% Indian songs, 10% Pakistani songs. Here, the choice of songs by the DJ is quite the opposite. So it is about 70% Nepali songs, 30% Indian songs. So the Nepali fans, also you're catering to the audience that's turned up, right? Not too many Indian fans, many more Nepali fans. So they are rocking it. The only thing I'm really disappointed with is the fact that it's an empty ground, almost empty. Whatever, you have a handful of fans, I mean, it's just about 12 to 10, 20% of its capacity. And all of them are Nepali fans, a few maybe local. My point is, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli are superstars of their sport, right? Shubman Gill and Hardik Pandya, so on and so forth. That should attract enough crowds, even locals, to come and watch them. What does that tell you about? Again, let me draw a football parallel. Even if it was against the minnows, let's say, and Argentina was playing Saudi Arabia, which is a minnow in football, in a neutral country, let's say Korea, or I don't know, whichever country, let's say Qatar, any place, neutral country, just to see, Messi and few other players, or instead of Argentina, it would be Portugal, any team, Spain, whatever, just to see their players, even in a neutral country, it would be a packed house because you want to see the best players of that sport. That's not the case. Some of the best players of this sport are playing the game today. It's an absolutely empty ground. The fans that have turned up have only come to support Nepal because they're from Nepal. So that's how it is today. So that's disappointing. Let me give you an update. Players are ready. I can see the Indian players all sitting in the dugout all ready to come on. In fact, some of them are warming up as we speak. They're just clearing the little bit of water that must be on the outfield, and no rain yet. So we can have a game very quickly on this.
Yep, and it's a good story for Nepal. I mean, they were almost on the brink of
Yeah.
losing their ODI status because of everything that happened in 2018. I mean, political interference. Their board itself got suspended by the ICC because of political interference.
They won the ACL Super Cup or something, no?
They had to win close to about 12 out of 15 games in order to stay and maintain their ODI status, and they did it. And you will remember in one particular match, I think it was either the UAE or Nepal, where the entire ground, Kiratpur if I am not mistaken, the entire ground was full, the entire village had come to see, and they somehow managed to win that match. And I think they maintained their ODI status at that time. So it was a very good story. And
Wasn't that
So we have an update, by the way. Play is in fact resuming as we had predicted. About 10-15 minutes later, 6:45 p.m. is when play resumes.
No overs
So
lost.
no overs will be lost.
Yep. You have a 1 hour or 1 hour 10-minute buffer. You can cut down on the the break that is there, innings break.
So there'll be a shorter innings break.
Shorter innings break, but any other rain delay after that, you may start losing.
Of course, because if you, as you say, if you've lost nearly an hour now.
Yep.
5:45 around, if I'm not wrong, the play was stopped, and 6:45 you're resuming. That means you've lost an hour already.
Already you've lost an hour.
Do you reckon India will change the momentum now, or do you see Nepal playing out 50 overs?
I think Nepal will play at 50 overs.
I mean, they've so far done a good job. I mean, Sompal Kami and Deependra Airi, they've batted pretty well. Deependra Airi in particular, I mean, it's not a surprise that he's doing this because he has done it in the past lower down the order. So that's why it's a very good situation. Nikhil, what do you think now? Can India bundle them out quite cheaply? If they get over 200 on this particular wicket, will it be very challenging?
I don't think it will challenge the Indian team. I think they would. I mean, you'd want to get them out quickly. 4 more wickets. I think the first target is to ensure they don't bat the full quota of 50 overs. I think that is what India is going to concentrate on. But if they were to bat a full quota of 50 overs, then I'm guessing about another 70 odd runs. They will get 60, 70 runs, which will then take you to 250. Which is not bad. It's not something that India won't be able to chase against the Nepal bowling, but will definitely give you butterflies in the stomach because it's a must-win game. Don't forget, we're talking about venue change and this and that. You won't have to wait for any of that because then we'll have to just take one flight and back to the venue where you stay. Each player can go to their respective house if that unthinkable was to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, they'll get an extended rest then. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine if they lose today.
So much workload management.
Brilliant workload management. So you're gearing up for the real tournament, which is the Australia series.
Unintended workload management.
Not unintended. I mean, it is.
No, of course, it's unintended. You don't want
Mastermind
to.
move.
Yeah. A no result and a potential loss. Wow.
No,
What a-
no result is fine because they'll still go through
They'll
with no
still
result.
go through, but then still, after this, you've got 5 days of rest. Because you're not going to travel to Colombo, you're going to be in Pallekele at this point
Yeah.
in time. So, 5 days of rest, gear up for India Pakistan. House full. Like India, the Indian cricket team really had the greatest day against Pakistan. As gully cricketers, as we as
Only did your batting.
Yeah, we batted, no bowling, no fielding, we are done. That is the situation at this point in time. So, yeah, no overs lost. That is the major takeaway.
But if they have one more rain interruption, 100% you'll lose overs.
Yeah, and that too if it is of this intensity. Because remember, maybe another 10-15 minutes of grace period, they'll shorten the innings break, and then after that, if it rains, that's it.
Then you're losing overs.
Every 4 minutes, you will lose 1 over.
True.
And then India may potentially be chasing a DLS
Adjusted target.
So that's the situation there. And okay, who are the bowling options now? Because see, Ravindra Jadeja has got 1, Kuldeep has got 2.
I think you'll go back to Siraj for sure.
Siraj and Shami also. But then again, Shami in the death. Very
Exactly.
good situation. So Satyajit Shinde, and then I'll give this question to you, Nikhil. Okay, he's gone. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Why no Indian fans at the ground?
See, because firstly, unlike the UK or the US, there aren't too many resident Indians here. That's the first option. Secondly, it's a work day. So anyone who plan to take a flight and come here can do it over the weekend. Weekday, it's very tough for anyone to come. And third of all, it's not the most appetizing game for someone to fly down and spend that good money to come here and watch. So I think anyone who wanted to do it will do it for the India-Pakistan game. So I think those factors is the reason why you have more Indian fans.
No, this thing. Okay. So what is the ideal total that you would want them to be restricted to? Under 200, 210, 220, a grace? Isn't that what you...
I think
What were your prediction? What were your prediction?
I had predicted 190.
I don't want to go over my prediction.
Please,
Go ahead,
148.
I said
everyone.
148.
I had gone with 169.
So we're the closest.
You are the
For now.
closest at this point.
For now.
There's like 12 overs left. What closest?
And supposing if they...
No,
lose
so
4
what?
wickets
I
to
didn't
the-
hear. I didn't hear Gargi's prediction.
190. So did I.
So yeah, she will be the closest. She will. I mean, closest. You're right. It's also again relative because if they get 250, then nobody is really close per se.
Then forget it.
If they do,
Just open that question.
Forget
Actually,
about
we have a super chat also from Surya Vikram Singh who's saying that, this Asia Cup, considering all the circumstances, has been made a bit of a mockery, and India, despite being a crowd puller team, has seen empty seats even in Pakistan match. And according to him, this Nepal match now looks like a club cricket encounter with so few fans there. So clearly, a lot of fans are very
yeah,
happy.
it does look like that. I mean, it's pity to see an international game being played to almost empty stadium. Yeah, it's a pity.
And to be
That's
fair,
happening,
you don't
but-
even have the buffer of COVID now. It was understandable during that time.
Yeah. But traditionally, if you
Do you
look
know,
at
though,
it-
interestingly, I'll mention that there is a surge in COVID cases here in Sri Lanka. So
dear.
it's very common now to see people wearing masks. If you remember, 2 Sri Lankan players, I think, tested positive
Yes,
for COVID.
yes.
Oh,
So there is a bit of a surge here. I don't know what the status of the entire population is when it comes to vaccination. I'm not too sure what happened in Sri Lanka, what's the status right now. But I do see a lot of people, especially elders, wear masks in public. At the
Oh
moment.
boy, that is really bad then. And anyway, Sri Lanka has been struggling with an attendance issue when it comes to international cricket for a very long time now. You look at the test matches, there are hardly any fans. Hardly.
Plus
Even
it's
if
a
you...
test match.
No, but then still, I mean, if you look at...
No, I know, but it doesn't help that it's a test match.
Not really. I mean, I'll tell you why. In the early 2000s and even just 5-6 years prior to COVID, there was a good attendance. But now, ever since COVID, I think the attendances have really gone. I mean, I'll give you an example. Nidahas Trophy of 2018, it was full. There's a T20 I'm talking about, by the way. India were taking on Bangladesh or India were taking on Sri Lanka. The crowds that were there at Premadasa, it was lesser than what it was in the school encounter. That is the situation in Sri Lanka at this point in time. So, it's a big problem at this point. So, it is like what you're saying, empty stands, empty grass banks. India,
No, I
Nepal.
don't know. There's still some there on the grass banks and maybe on a few of the seats, but otherwise, all you're seeing is seats.
Yep.
It's just seats.
It is. And freaking awesome saying.
The press box is full though.
Yeah.
Press box is full.
In fact, actually, someone was asking. I'm not sure you'd be able to
No,
show it.
I am a doubt. I am a
Yeah,
doubt,
I have, but someone was asking, can you show your view? I doubt it'll be allowed. Huh?
I can't.
Yeah, I thought so.
Can't.
Yeah, it's
You
not
can't
allowed.
show it from the press box and it's fine. So what worries me is that one of a family of freaking awesome is saying, what worries me is that Pakistan defeated Nepal cheaply in a good batting condition.
Yeah, Multan.
Here in Pallekele, the pitch assists spacers much better. If Afghanistan plays like this, I can understand. Okay, but Nepal, my goodness, that is either he's really insulted Afghanistan badly or he's shocked about Nepal's performance.
It's both.
Both. He's done it both also. So Jay Patel.
Double whammy.
Okay, so the umpires are out. The players are walking out. So we're gonna be seeing.
So no inspection,
Game
straight away
started.
into
Yeah,
action.
you said.
Done.
Inspection was done.
6:45 was resumption of play.
Yeah, 6:30 was
6:30 was the inspection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean umpires not doing the inspection. Oh, come, let's go.
No,
play.
players,
go play.
umpires walking out because they're the first ones to walk out, right? The players follow. So umpires coming out, that means
Yeah.
it's playtime.
This is not CK PlayStation, yeah, where we take the decisions ourselves. There is an umpiring protocol.
It does look like a CK PlayStation game though.
Yeah. No, CK PlayStation has more fans.
No. CK PlayStation doesn't have grass banks. Simple. So that is the situation, and one hopes that India can restrict Nepal to under 200 or 220. Because somehow I think this pitch is a very kind of a sticky kind of a wicket and it will be difficult to bat on as the game progresses.
Let's see.
But under lights it normally just skids through, so it does become easier to bat. And remember, 19 times the teams that have chased in Pallekele have won. So that's the situation now. So 6:45
Yeah, we'll have play resumption very soon, in fact.
very soon.
Has he
No
left?
overs lost.
Okay. Wonderful. So,
Yep.
but of course, now if there's another rain interruption, be prepared.
Yep. If there's another 1 hour rain interruption, I'm sorry folks.
Not even 1 hour, it just has to be 20 minutes.
It has to be a 20-minute because you need another 20 minutes.
I said
to
1 hour means you're going into the India-Pakistan territory.
Territory. 10:27 p.m. IST.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Rain. When will they ever go away from Sri Lanka? Chalo, that's about it from all of us. We thank Nikhil for joining us from
And thank you
Pallekele
guys
and
too.
giving us all the updates, and let's see how India and Nepal. I mean, in particular, I'm interested in watching Deependra Airi bat. I mean, he is a lower order dasher, and again, what's his position? Can you just have a look at the scorecard and see what position he's batting in? If it's a number 8, ooh, even Nepal has a better number 8 than.
No, it's not. He could very well be that. This scorecard go
let's
down.
go. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, Sompal Kami is 8. Okay. So, you would want your number 8 to do what Sompal Kami is doing.
Which is
Hanging
player a
there.
strike rate of 55? No.
No. I mean, see, there's 37 overs to go. I mean, there's still 13 overs left.
I would want them to do what Dipendra Singh Airi is doing. That's
That
good.
Jadeja might do, or a Hardik will do. You need someone to stay at one end and build a partnership.
I disagree. If you're playing a number 8, he needs to bat.
See, if it's England or Australia, that I can understand. They have that skill. But
Well, this even a Shami can do for you. You realize?
No,
that, right?
Shami can't do that.
please.
Shami can.
Shami will
He
either
can
hit a six or get out.
He can hit you
Are
boundaries.
you are confusing
A
with
Bumrah-
Umesh Yadav.
Bumrah also got
Umesh
you
Yadav
runs.
also either hits a six or gets
Bumrah also got you runs the other day. Did he not hit 3 boundaries?
Umesh Yadav, I've seen him take a single exactly once in his career.
Yeah.
Gujarat Titans.
I know.
That was the only time I've seen that man hit a take a single. Otherwise, he too will go for the glory shot and he'll either connect or not connect.
Yeah,
Simple
he,
as.
He did it 5 sixes though of that South Africa test match.
Umesh Yadav, I remember one time, one KKR a game low down the other. This is 2014. I think they needed 3 of the final ball, he hit a 6.
He hit a 6.
So he can do it. But again,
Oh.
so the match is resumed and that's it. 38 overs done.
Yep,
12
12
more overs. We'll join you guys after, hopefully, once the 12 overs are done.
Now you know.
There's
who to
another
blame.
rain break.
Now you know
I'm
who to
going to
blame.
start breaking things.
Rather than blaming it on me.
No, I've said it means it won't happen.
It won't happen. Yep.
Hashtag not Panati.
Not Panauti. But anyway, score predictions we both are almost near, but it can change.
Score predictions I've given up
I
on.
think they will go.
The one time I got my score prediction right was when I predicted 268 and it came 266. That was the only time.
Yep. Yeah, Akash Bharadwaj, bowlers not looking threatening. I'm sorry. Nothing is threatening in the Indian team. I'm sorry.
No, the Indian team is threatening to themselves.
They're their own worst enemy. So that's the situation.
Anyway, we'll join you guys in about 12 hours time. See you later.
See you.
Right now,
Bye.
thanks for joining. Please don't forget, like, share, subscribe. We're almost at 200,000 or 2 lakh subscribers, by the way. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do it. It would mean a lot to us. Although join us now, 12 hours later.
Bye-bye.